Everything's looking crazy, a storm on the horizon. The pressure is low, gotta get moving, put on a show. The news is all buzzing, state of alert, but we've got a plan, we're ready to work. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. See a little fire or a rising flood, we're a well-oiled machine, we're running in the mud. From the city hall meetings to the rescue teams, turning worst case scenarios into hopeful dreams. We're training the people, we're stocking the gear, we're the team you can count on when trouble is near. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. It's more than a job, it's a calling, you see. Prepared for the present and what's yet to be. Every second counts, we're ready to react for our communities. We're making an impact. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. Yeah, we're picking you up, we're ready to go. EMA, let's get this show on the road.
Let's get this show on the road. Let's do this, guys. How about that? Emergency Management Associates is on the air. How about that, guys? We're here for you today, tomorrow, next year, and forever. We're here for you guys. We're coming to you from the Area Command, 392 miles west of Kitty Hawk Beach, North Carolina. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it so much. Guys, there's a lot of things we need to talk about. First off, we did it. We held out. Guess what? Last night at 10 p.m. last night, the Senate held the final vote to reopen the government. We got 60 votes to reopen the government. 8 Democrats, actually 7 Democrats and an independent voted to reopen the government. Now the bill goes to the House of Representatives to open up the government. We can open up the government probably as soon as tomorrow. How about that? We did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. Okay? We held out. We made our telephone calls to our Senate representatives, and we said, get this show on the road, make sure the government reopens. And that is exactly what happened last night. Okay? Now the bill goes to the House of Representatives to be voted on. They'll clear it. It'll go back to the Senate and back to the president then, and then it'll be a done deal probably tomorrow morning. How about that? We did it, guys. Thanks to you. Thanks to you. Hurricane Heather is honoring our veterans. Absolutely. Abso-cotton-pickin'-lutely. We honor Veterans Day. This is Veterans Day, November 11th. It's also yours truly's birthday. How about that? Happy birthday. Yes, happy birthday to me. Okay? Now, guys, it's a great pleasure for me to be here. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's a great pleasure for me to be here. I come from a strong heritage of veterans in my family. All the men in my family served in the armed services. All the men in my family served in the armed services. I'm glad to report that to you. Okay? They served our country with glory. They really did. They served our country with absolute glory and absolute finality. We praise them for doing that. We absolutely praise them for doing that. Okay? My dad right here served during the Korean War. His brother served in World War II in Korea, and World War II in the beginning of Korea. Then he was retired, and then my dad went into the service in the beginning of Korea, and he was in the service until just after Korea ended. Then he stayed in the service as a reserve. He actually finished his tour of duty in the Navy Reserve as a what do they call it? A Master Chief in the Navy. So I gladly praise my dad for his service to our country. He passed away December 15th, 2011. God bless you, Dad. We love you very much. Thank you very much for your service. Anyway, guys, a lot has happened last night. Like I said, the Senate voted to reopen our government, and something else happened last night as well. Let's go to California now. Berkeley, California. Berkeley, California, where all kinds of riots in the 60s happened. And last night, Turning Point USA held a rally at UC Berkeley, and this is what happened.
This is Savannah Hernandez at UC Berkeley at the TPUSA Out of the Bay protest. Now, it is about 7 p.m. at this point, but this has been going on since 4:30, and my friends, it has been absolute chaos. Now, at the beginning of the night, you quickly had 2 people that were arrested. One person was a Trump supporter, another was an Antifa member, and as the Trump supporter was getting arrested, he stated that the Antifa member came and tried to steal his stuff, resulting in the altercation. Now, that happened fairly quickly at the beginning of the protest, and everything just evolved since then. Now, this is actually the entrance to the TPUSA event tonight, and the attendee line actually stretched out this way, and it kind of stretched into this area so people could get into this conference center behind me. Now, what ended up happening is this huge swarm of protesters, many of which are trans members, some of them are furries, and of course, many Antifa members and Antifa-aligned groups, they all ended up swarming those attendees. Now, one of the Antifa members actually lit off a flare, smoke started going everywhere, and then another protester drove past in his vehicle. It started backfiring multiple times. It kind of sounded like gunshots. I could see the visible fear in many of the attendees' eyes, and they all started swarming into this area. Now, please quickly let them pass these barriers to, essentially protect them and help with their safety, because the mob then quickly started descending on these barriers. Now, they have multiple times tried to break this area down and break these barriers down, and they have been chanting all night, calling attendees of this event fascists, Nazis, anti-Semites. They've been calling them every single name in the book, while simultaneously saying that Nazis need to be killed. Now, they have also been mocking the death of Charlie Kirk, and I have seen several signs tonight glorifying and celebrating Charlie's death. So that is the protest in attendance tonight. Those are the people inside. You even had people chanting, F your homie is dead, referring to Charlie Kirk. So that's an idea of how chaotic it has been up here at UC Davis.
This is what happened at UC Davis yesterday, and also in Berkeley, okay? Unreal. These Antifa hate us. These Antifa people should be taken into custody and thrown in jail, causing all kinds of problems. All kinds of problems. That guy that lit off the fire, the flare, should have been arrested as well. Didn't get arrested. The guy that was spinning his tires could have hurt or killed somebody. He was spinning his tires. I'm not sure if was so much a backfire. I don't think it was a backfire at all. I believe it was shots being fired from the vehicle. Okay, unreal. But that's what happened in Berkeley last night. Now, I want to talk about the earthquakes up in the Pacific Northwest tonight, or today, I should say. Last night and today. Last night and today, guys. A lot of earthquakes have happened in the Pacific Northwest. Before I do that, I want to start over in Northern California. A lot of earthquakes have happened, okay? I want to start over here and show you on the USGS map what's happened today, since we were here with you last night. Take down our banner here. I'm going to take down our webcam so you can see what we're talking about. We're looking at the Kamchatka Peninsula here of Russia. Today, they're not showing any earthquakes, but there have been earthquakes here on the southeast side of the Kamchatka Peninsula. Over here in Japan, earthquakes continue to happen here, and they're only showing one earthquake here. They're only showing this 4.6 moderate quake. A lot of earthquakes have happened here. Some 4s and 5 large earthquakes have hit here today. Japan, off the coast of Japan. 2 days ago, we had a 7.2 earthquake. 7.2 earthquake here. USGS said it was a 6.8. It was a 7.2 earthquake. Okay, let's drop down here to Guam. Okay. Actually, they're not showing Guam, they're showing Micronesia. Up here in Guam, there was another earthquake as well today. Let me see if I can see Guam here. Gosh, where to go here? Right here. There was an earthquake over here on the north side of Guam up here, and it's probably going to continue. These earthquakes are probably going to continue, but right now they're not showing anything at all. It was taken down, I believe. But it did happen. It did happen today. We go down here into Indonesia. Look at this. They're showing 4 earthquakes here. 4 earthquakes here in Indonesia. Look at this. Okay. Tual, Indonesia again. Tual, Indonesia always has large earthquakes. This today is a 5.1 earthquake here. Okay. Southwest of there, this is Babar, Indonesia. This is a 4.3 moderate quake. This is 92 kilometers deep. This is a 4.3 in Timor-Leste, Indonesia. It's a 4.3 earthquake. This is 110 kilometers deep. This is a 4.5 near Los Palos, Timor-Leste. This is a 4.5 earthquake. But they're showing 4 earthquakes. 32 earthquakes have hit here in Indonesia today. Not even showing us a third of them. Not even a third of these earthquakes. Earthquakes are happening all over this area. Okay, they're still not showing everything going on. Earthquakes happening over here in New Zealand. Not showing one as normal. We go up here into southern Fiji here. Okay, this is a 4.6 in South Fiji. We go further north, and by the way, this is only 315 miles deep. Okay, but it's a deep earthquake. This 4.6 is going to propagate, birth a brand new, shallower, stronger quake to probably be a 5.4 earthquake. So we're going to see a 5.4 earthquake as a result of this earthquake today in Fiji. This is a 4.3 here. This is 125 miles deep. This is a fairly shallow quake. But that other one is going to birth a 5.4 earthquake within the next 10 days. They're not showing any other earthquakes here. We go over here to South America. Look at this. They show us 2 earthquakes in South America. Unreal. There are 39 earthquakes here in South America. There are a bunch of earthquakes down here in central Chile, Argentina area, Salta, Argentina area. Over here, this Saravia, Argentina, this is a 4.3 earthquake here, okay, in the Pampas of Argentina. We go over here to Camina, Chile. This is a 4.8 earthquake, 6.2 miles deep. Northern Chile. We go further north. This is a 4.8 in southern Peru. Chihuahua, Peru, it's a 4.8 earthquake. This is also 70.8 kilometers deep. Okay, very shallow earthquake. These are not the only earthquakes that have hit here. The biggest earthquake of the day here, north of South America, guess where this is at? Northeast is Barbados. Northeast of Barbados, okay? This is the large 5.0 earthquake here in the Leeward Islands area. 5.0 earthquake in the Leeward Islands here, northeast of Barbados, okay? Unreal. They didn't expect that to happen, okay? Over here in Puerto Rico, this is a large 5.0 earthquake here, just south of Puerto Rico here in the ocean. South of Puerto Rico in the ocean, we have a large 5.0 earthquake. This is the largest earthquake that we've seen here in the Puerto Rican area since 2019. This is the largest earthquake in Puerto Rico area since 2019 when we had an 8.0 and 8.4 earthquake that happened over here in southwestern Puerto Rico, December 26th and December 28th, 2019. So 5.0 earthquake hits off of southeastern Puerto Rico here, a large earthquake today, 6.2 miles deep. We go over here to the Mona Passage here, the southern Mona Passage, the body of water between the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. We have a 3.3 small earthquake here. Okay, that's it here. We go over to southern Texas. We have a 2.0 earthquake here, Stockdale, Texas. Okay, we go north up here. Okay, Oklahoma, Mill Creek, Oklahoma. I have never seen an earthquake here in Mill Creek. Let's go investigate here. Okay. Let's try to find out if this is an oil and gas quake here. I don't see any oil and gas pumping operations except further down here. This might be 10 miles from that earthquake. That's a pump and jack area, and this is another one here. However, USGS calls this a quarry blast. Really? This is not even anywhere close to a quarry. Nowhere close to a quarry at all. Interesting. They do this to us all the time. They tell us it's a quarry blast and it's not. Guess what it is? Spontaneous combustus carnivorous. Demon Catman, you hit it out of the park here. Demon Catman gave me this meme some time ago, and I love showing it because this earthquake is not in a quarry. It is in a forested area there in Oklahoma. Okay, I don't believe it was anything related to oil and gas pumping operations, but it is over here in a forested area, and USGS is calling this a quarry blast. It's not. It's definitely not a quarry blast at all. Okay, and that's as close to it as I can get. Otherwise, I'd get even closer to show you exactly what's happened here. This is in a forested area here in Oklahoma, Mill Creek, Oklahoma, guys. Okay, there's another earthquake here I saw here just a moment ago, up here in Kansas again. We showed you this earthquake yesterday in Mill Creek, Kansas. Excuse me. This is a 2.8 minor earthquake here. 2.8 minor earthquake here. Okay, back in Texas, look at all these earthquakes in southwestern Texas here. This earthquake here is in Stanton, Texas. Excuse me. Let me get a drink of water here. Yes, Hurricane Heather, that earthquake is closer to Ponce, Puerto Rico. You're absolutely right. This earthquake here is in Stanton, Texas. About 9 months ago, we had a 5.1 earthquake here in Stanton, Texas. Now we have a 1.2 tremor. We have another 1.2 tremor here. This is another 1.2 tremor here. And north here, we have a 0.9 microquake. Okay, but look where we're at. Right smack dab in the middle of an oil field. These are oil and gas quakes, fracking earthquakes here. Fracking earthquakes here in an oil field in Texas, Stanton, Texas. Okay, let's go north here. This is a 1.1 tremor here. This also in Stanton, Texas, 0.7. And this is a 1.1 here, also 12 miles south. Actually, it's not southwest. It's northwest of Stanton, Texas here. These are also oil and gas fracking earthquakes here. Right smack dab in the middle of an oil field there. Where'd the earthquake go here? Right there. Guess what, guys? It's within 6 to 10 miles from that oil field. Guess what? Fracking quake. Fracking earthquake. Now, why would I call this a fracking quake when it's 6 to 10 miles away from that oil platform? I'm going to take this down. No, I'm not either going to take it down. I'm going to go over here and bring up our webcam here so I can show you what's going on. Okay. Some of these oil platforms, when they drill into the earth, they can go horizontally, they can go perpendicularly, or they can go straight down into the ground. This one looks like it was more off to the side like this, possibly down like this, kind of perpendicular to the ground. But this was an oil and gas fracking earthquake. Okay, that happens a lot here in this area. It happens a lot in this area. Now let's back out here because there's some more here out to the west. There's a bunch more. Right here. We've been having earthquakes here for about 3 years now. Okay. They say this is in White City, New Mexico, but you can see the New Mexico border. This is in Texas, guys. This is in Texas. Okay. Let's see what they say about all these earthquakes. This is in Toyah, Texas here. So I believe all of these earthquakes are in Toyah, Texas. They're south of the New Mexico border. There's one earthquake up here at the border of New Mexico and Texas. This is a 1.0 tremor. This is, they say, 21 miles southeast of Malaga, New Mexico. Southeast of Malaga, New Mexico. I don't know where Malaga is at all. But it's right at the border of New Mexico and Texas. These others are near Toyah, Texas, not anywhere close to the border. These are also oil and gas fracking earthquakes here. Look at that. Oil and gas platforms all over the place here. Fracking earthquakes. That's 1.7 here. This is a 1.5 tremor here. Down here in the south here. This is a 1.9, 2.0 here. 2.0 minor earthquake. We go further south here. This is a 1.5 tremor here. Okay. All of these are in oil and gas platform areas here, right smack dab in the middle of an oil field. oil and gas fracking earthquakes. Okay. Now, Juanito is here from El Centro, California. Let's zoom in here to Imperial Valley. Okay. Up here near Calipatria, this is a 1.5 tremor here in Calipatria in the Imperial Valley. Folks, Calipatria has over 100 to 150 earthquakes every day here. They show us one quake. They show us one quake. Okay, interesting enough. Let's zoom in here to El Centro here. This is El Centro where Juanito lives. Juanito is having 3.0 earthquakes all over here today. Approximately 15 3.0 on large earthquakes here in El Centro today. Incredible. And Juanito feels these earthquakes. Juanito feels these earthquakes, guys. Juanito, we appreciate you being here. We really do. Heather, you're great. You're great. She says rioting marmots over there in Berkeley, California. Pretty much. These Antifa negative conservation, or I can't even say they're conservationists. They're radical environmentalists. Unreal. And they're getting paid to riot. They're getting paid by George Soros and several other elites of our society to riot. The signs that they were carrying were not homemade signs. They were generic signs made by a company paid off by George Soros again. Incredible what they get away with. Let's go over to San Diego here. Look at this. We had an earthquake down here in Chula Vista earlier today. They took it down. They took the darn thing down. Let's go over here. Okay. This is over near Ocotillo Wells, 16 miles southwest of Ocotillo Wells. This is a 0.7 microquake here. Go down here to the southeast here. This is 8 miles east-northeast of Ocotillo Wells here. Ocotillo, California, I should say. Okay. We'll go north up here. This is just southwest of the Salton Sea. This is 10 miles west of Westmoreland. This is a 3.0 earthquake, 10 miles southwest of Westmoreland, California. Westmoreland is right up here. See if I can get the city. There it is. See it right there. They used to have a operational seismograph in Westmoreland. They basically shut it down. They may still have it there, but they shut it down. We no longer can monitor seismic activity from Westmoreland. Okay. But over here to the southeast, Brawley has earthquakes as well. Okay. South of Westmoreland is a town called Imperial right there. Imperial has its share of earthquakes here today as well. As I said, down here in El Centro where Juanito lives, he's feeling each and every one of these earthquakes here. Rob 52, thank you for that birthday wish. God bless you for that, Rob. God bless all of you. We appreciate each and every one of you being here. Okay, that's what's happening here in Southern California. Let's go north. Okay, Borrego Springs. Borrego Springs is in what they call the Anza Borrego Desert State Park in northeast San Diego County. This is a 0.6 microquake. How about that? This is also in Borrego Springs, a 0.5 microquake. Going north up here, also in Borrego, a 1.1 tremor here. Out here to the west, this is in the Anza Gap area, still the Anza Borrego Desert State Park, a 0.7 microquake here. We go further out here to the west, guess what? Fallbrook, California. I have friends that live in Fallbrook. This is a 1.0 tremor here in Fallbrook, California. We go up further north to the northwest here. This is Lake Elsinore. Good old Lake Elsinore. What I commonly refer to as Lake Smell Some More. Okay? You see Lake Elsinore right here? This earthquake is northwest of Lake Elsinore. It's a 1.1 tremor here. 1.1 tremor here. Okay? Out here to the east, the Redlands. This earthquake is on the San Jacinto Fault. It's a 1.1 tremor. Over here to the east on the San Andreas Fault here, this is the 1.6 in Running Springs, California. Further down here to the south, also on the San Andreas Fault, is 1.1 here in Cabazon, California. Up here to the north, this is Little Creek, California. This is completely different. Little Creek, California. Okay? This is just west of the San Jacinto Fault here. Okay? But again, they're not showing us any earthquakes here in Los Angeles. They have over 300 earthquakes, 300 to 400 earthquakes a day here in Los Angeles. And they're not showing us a single thing. Over here in Imperial Valley, they have 400 earthquakes a day. They show us one earthquake. Unreal. Unreal. Anyway, guys, I want to go up here to the north here. I want to show you what's going on. Over here on the San Andreas Fault here, okay? This is the Pinnacles. The Pinnacles. This is on the San Andreas Fault here, but we also have oil and gas platforms here that are drilling for oil and gas. This is an oil and gas quake. This is a 1.3 tremor here. Right here, also right next to the San Andreas Fault, is a 1.5 tremor here. Okay? We go north here. Pacific California, right there. Pacific California is where the golf course is. There are deer that roam all over this golf course. I was on the golf course back in 1993. I roamed all over the golf course, sinking my putts after maybe 10 or 15 strokes. I did not come anywhere near making par on this course. This is a professional course. Of course, I was not the horse, of course. And of course, I didn't sink any putts until it was after maybe 10 or 15 putts that I sunk the ball. Incredible. This is over in Pacifica. It's a 1.0 tremor here. This is over here, guys, on the San Andreas Fault. Let's go across the San Francisco Bay to San Ramon, California, right here. They're having a swarm of earthquakes. Swarm of earthquakes here in the San Ramon Country Club area, right here. This is a 1.4 tremor. This is a 1.1 tremor. This is a 2.2 minor earthquake. This is a 1.2 tremor here. Rob 52's daughter lives here in San Ramon, California. We love her. She's a good lady, she and her family. But this is in San Ramon, California, and at least 3 of these earthquakes are at the country club in San Ramon. Incredible. Incredible. But there's more. There's a lot more. Let's go north of San Francisco Bay here. Let's go up here to the geysers. I just love this. I just love this. Look at all the earthquakes here in the geysers. This is Sonoma Valley, California. Wine country. They have anywhere from 20 to 30 earthquakes a day here in the geysers. Why? Because, guys, guess what? They pull steam from the Clear Lake volcano right here. They pull steam from the Clear Lake volcano here. They're showing here this earthquake that I highlighted in blue for you. It was a red earthquake. It just happened. This happens to be a 1.0 tremor. But again, they're not telling us the truth of what's actually going on here in the geysers facility either. For example, this is a 1.1 tremor. This is a 1.1 tremor. This earthquake here is a 1.6 tremor. This earthquake here is a 1.7 tremor. Again, what do they do here? They pull the steam from the Clear Lake volcano Down here, the geyser's facility to a bunch of turbines here. The steam from the volcano is powering turbines here in the geyser's facility. And as a result, it produces electricity here in the geyser's facility, for example, right here. You see a turbine facility there. You see another turbine facility right there. And I believe, let's see, right down here, we have another turbine facility there. There are a total of 81 turbines throughout the geyser's facility here. They produce electricity by pulling steam from the volcano to generate electricity here for 4 energy conglomerates, one of them being Pacific Gas and Electric, and also Rocky Mountain Power of Salt Lake City. Actually, I shouldn't say Salt Lake City. I believe its headquarters are in southern Utah, but it's Rocky Mountain Power of Utah, and they take power here from the geyser facility, as well as at least 2 other energy conglomerates here in California. But they're not telling us the truth. There are more earthquakes here than this. And some of these earthquakes are even stronger than what they're showing. Let me show that to you in a minute. Up here, the Clear Lake volcano, they're not showing any earthquakes here, but there are. There are a lot of earthquakes here. Let me show you that in just a second. This earthquake right here that just lit up in yellow, it's near Cloverdale, California. This is a 1.7 tremor. Let's take down this map here. Actually, it's don't. Let's go up here into the Pacific Northwest, where we have several volcanoes we're going to talk about, but they're not showing any earthquakes at all in the Washington, Oregon area. Not showing any earthquakes at all in the Washington, Oregon area on land. Down here on the Blanco fracture zone out to sea here in the Pacific Ocean, you see a 3.1 earthquake on the southeastern side of the Blanco fracture zone. This perpendicular line here is the Blanco fracture zone. It's part of the Cascadia subduction zone region. 3.1 earthquake. We had some other 3.1s last week. Before that, we had even 5.3 earthquakes here in the Blanco fracture zone at this exact location. Okay, there are earthquakes happening here. They just don't like to tell us about it all the time. Okay, let's go over here, Washington State. Over here in the central Puget Sound area. This is Connor, Washington, 1.1 tremor here. Unreal. They're not showing any other earthquakes. In a few minutes, I'm going to show you a lot of earthquakes here. A lot. Let's go over here to the volcano here. Just one of the volcanoes in this region. Okay. This Mount Rainier. They say this is a 0.6 microquake. Fascinating, but no cigar. There are dozens, literally, of microquakes here. This is not the only one. This is the only one that they desire to show us. There are other earthquakes here that I'm going to show you as well, just about a minute. They say this earthquake is 14 miles northwest of Packwood, Washington. Again, USGS is not wanting to show us earthquakes at the volcanoes, so they call it 14 miles northwest of Packwood, Washington. They don't want to admit that the volcanoes are moving. Don't want to admit it at all. Down here at Mount St. Helens, look at this. Right down here in the summit of the volcano, they say this is a minus 0.3 mean above sea level. Above sea level. Guess what, guys? This is 0.8 of a mile deep. 0.8 of a mile deep. This is probably close to 2,000 feet deep inside this volcano. Less than a mile deep inside this volcano. Okay? That's a minus 0.3 tremor. They say this is a minus 0.2. This is 5 miles deep. This is nowhere near above sea level at all. 5 miles deep inside the volcano here. 0.4 microquake. They say this is a 0.2. This is 5.2 miles deep. 5.2 miles deep, guys. None of these earthquakes were above sea level. None of them were above sea level at all. Northwest of Mount Rainier, this is 5 miles south-southeast of Morton, Washington here. That is a 0.4 microquake here. This is 0.6 near Morton, Washington. This earthquake out here to the west, 0.8. 0.8 microquake. 4 miles east-southeast of Mossy Rock, Washington. Fascinating. Really fascinating. Why don't they show this as right there? Right here. Swofford, Washington. This is not anywhere near Mossy Rock. This is near Swofford, Washington. Swofford, Washington. 0.8 microquake. This happens to be 13.8 miles deep, 14 miles deep. Okay? They say these other two earthquakes here are near Morton. Guess what? There's Morton right there. Morton way up here to the north. These are further down here to the south. Why don't they put these earthquakes where they belong? Closer to Rife Lake. That's what they should be doing. Since I showed you these earthquakes here, I'm also going to show you some earthquakes around the volcanoes in Oregon as well. So let's take this USGS map down. Let's go and show you earthquakes here in the Pacific Northwest. I want to show you this. Before they go to the Pacific Northwest, guess what? Guess where this is from? This is at the geysers facility. This is at the geysers facility. They said we had nothing but tremors there. Some microquakes and some tremors. Guess what this is? This is to show you we have some 2.0s, 2.6s, 2.7s, 2.8 earthquakes here. All over the place. Literally all over the place. Why are they not showing us this? Why are they not showing us this, guys? Inquiring minds want to know. Okay? It's unreal what they get away with here. This was over on the southeast side of Clear Lake Volcano. Southeast side of Clear Lake Volcano. This is right in the center of Clear Lake Volcano right here. Look at this. Yes, we've had some earthquakes here. Actually, I'm sorry, this is not inside the lake. This is at the geyser facility here. Look at this earthquake here. On the top left side here. Look at that, guys. This earthquake here normally would be a 2.7, 2.8 earthquake. However, they cut the top and the bottom of this off. This means this was at least a 3.0, 3.5 earthquake at the geyser facility. Nowhere did you see those 3.0 earthquakes at the geyser's facility today. None. Why didn't they show this? How about this one here towards the top of this seismogram here? This one happened just after 1:15 yesterday afternoon. Why didn't they show this? This is probably close to a 3.0 earthquake as well. It had tremor activity before and after it. Before and after it. Okay, it had at least 1 minute, maybe a little bit longer of secondary wave here, which means this was at least a 3.0 earthquake here. And it happened about 1:18, 1:19 p.m. yesterday evening. This bigger earthquake, this 3.0, 3.5, happened just after 4:45 yesterday afternoon. Why are they not showing the activity here? Why are they not showing the geysers facility today? Because they don't want to. Look at this other activity here. Okay, as we talked about before. Okay, as we talked about before. Between certain hours, they turn down the seismograph. Between certain hours, they turn down the seismograph. In this case, before 5:30 yesterday, we have a lot of activity here, right? Oh yeah, quite a bit. Then they turn it down after about 7:45, 6 p.m. last night. 5:45, 6 p.m. last night. We have some tremors here at 8:45 p.m. last night. Over here on the left-hand side, that's a 2.7 earthquake. Over here after 9:30 last night, in the center here of your screen, that's a 2.7 earthquake as well. Just above it over here, this happened just after 9, in this case it'd be 9:57 p.m. here, another 2.7 earthquake. And after about 9:59 p.m. last night, another 2.7 earthquake there. But what happens here? What happens here? We go from about 6 p.m. last night until about 1:30 this morning. That's when the activity kicks up here. Usually it takes all night long of nothing going on. Then all of a sudden they turn it back up here. Down here. Okay. This happened today. Another 3.0 earthquake here. The top and the bottom is cut off. We have seismic activity before, and we have at least a minute and a half of seismic activity on the other side, which means a secondary wave. So this was in excess of a 3.0 earthquake here. In excess of a 3.0 earthquake here at the geysers facility. But they're not taking any responsibility here. It's like it didn't happen. It's like it didn't happen. How about this one at Clear Lake here? Look at this. This is a seismogram at Clear Lake today. Look at that earthquake after 6:45 this morning. About 6:55 this morning, we have at least a 3.5 earthquake here. At least a 3.5 earthquake. We have about 3 minutes of secondary wave here. The top and the bottom of this thing was cut off. Just by itself, it's a 2.7, 2.8 earthquake. It lasted over a minute long. Minute and a half long. 3.5 earthquake here at least. At least a 3.5 earthquake. These other earthquakes here, probably closer to 3.0s here. Look at these earthquakes today, right here. This morning, late this morning. 2.7, 2.8, 3.0 earthquakes here as well. Clear Lake volcano. Why are these not on the map? These size earthquakes should rate being on the USGS map, right? I think so. I truly think so. They did not show any earthquakes at the Clear Lake, at the Pacific volcano. Incredible. Incredible. So I showed you geysers, earthquakes happening there. All they showed was tremors. I showed you earthquakes. I went to the Clear Lake volcano. We have more earthquakes there as well. Let's go up to Mount Rainier. Let's talk Mount Rainier here. Guys, this is Mount Rainier here. Let me bring it down. This is Camp Sherman. Camp Sherman's been showing us a lot of activity over the years. Lots of activity. Actually, I'm sorry, this is Camp Muir. This is Camp Muir. Look at all the activity here. All of this is tremor activity. All this is tremor activity. What else is here? See these individual horizontal lines here? This is magma entering Mount Rainier. Magma pulse activity at Mount Rainier. The thicker the lines, more magma coming into the volcano. The thinner lines, less magma coming into the volcano here. We have a bunch of tremors here, don't we? Lots and lots of tremors here. Let me bring up Camp Sherman here. This is Camp Sherman. Over the last few years, we've seen a lot of activity here at Camp Sherman. Yes, we're seeing some tremors here at Camp Sherman. Up here at the top here, this is last night on the black line. This would be 1900 hours on the far left. Over here in the middle here, this earthquake happened at approximately 7:09 p.m. last night. 2.7, 2.8 earthquake here. Okay. Over here on the blue line. The blue line on the left would be 7:30. Over here, we're talking about 7:43. This is a 2.3 earthquake here. Then this wild symbol here is a magma churn signal. Magma churn signals are typically 23 to 24 lines high. That's what they should be. Let's see how many lines this magma churn signal is. Okay. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lines high. Guess what? This is about 48% of real world, because this magma churn signal has been cut down to only 10 lines high. Magma churn signals should be 23 to 24 lines high. So this one is about, this seismogram is showing us about 48% of real world, which means this 2.7, 2.8 earthquake here was probably closer to a 3.2, 3.3 earthquake at Mount Rainier. Mount Rainier. Now, they're also showing us a bunch of tremors here. And we have a tremor down here. Let me zoom in here on this tremor here. Okay, this happened just after 5:15 this morning on the left-hand side. Over here, this would be 5:20, I want to say 5:27 a.m. here. This would be a 1.8, 1.9 tremor here. But because this seismogram has been turned down, the seismograph itself was turned down, so this has been turned down. So this would probably be a 2.3, 2.4 earthquake here. We're also seeing some other vertical lines here without dots in them. The tiny vertical lines, the small vertical lines here without dots, those are steam signals. Those are steam signals. Off to the right of that magma churn signal here. Off to the right of that magma churn signal, you see a bunch of other vertical lines here. Those are also steam signals. Mount Rainier is steaming. Mount Rainier is a steaming volcano. Why? Because there's holes at the summit of the holes in the summit rock of the volcano. Holes in the summit rock of the volcano. The plug of the volcano, guys. The plug of the volcano has holes. Why? Because there's magma here. There's magma hammering at the volcano plug like this. Magma coming up from underneath the plug, hammering at the plug. And you notice my fingers here? My fingers represent those fissures in the rock that are made by the hammering away of magma from underneath. Hammering away causes cracks in that volcanic plug. That plug was left there by magma or lava that had come up and heat that hardened at the summit of the volcano. Now magma is coming up and smashing into that rock, causing fissures in that rock, holes in the rock. When that happens, 6 to 7% of all magma is water. 6 to 7% of all magma is water. When the magma comes up here and hits that plug, it's releasing steam from the magma. It's releasing steam from the magma like this, up through those fissures. It's a simple physics lesson here. When the steam comes up through these tiny cracks in the rock, the hot steam enlarges these cracks, and at some point in time, after some point in time, when this hot steam keeps going through these cracks, it widens those cracks out, and all of a sudden it fractures that rock. All of a sudden that hot steam fractures that rock, and it goes poof. We have a volcanic eruption. Between the pounding of the rock from underneath by the magma and the steam coming up, fracturing the rock, that plug is going to go at some point in time. It's going to go. I reported to you over a month ago that scientists have been up at the summit with either a drone or some kind of aerial device. They saw ash at the top of Mount Rainier. They've seen ash at the top of Mount Rainier. That's a fact. So Mount Rainier has had a partial eruption already. That rock at the plug of the volcano has got holes in it, and those holes have caused steam and ash to be released from the mountain. Okay? That's what's happened here at Mount Rainier. I have one other diagram to show you here at Mount Rainier. It's at Emerald Ridge. Mount Rainier has several seismographs laced all around the volcano. This is Emerald Ridge here. This is Emerald Ridge here. You've seen other earthquakes here as well. This one last night on this red line here, we enlarge this out. This happened after 7:15 here on the left-hand side. This is about 7:20, 7:24, 7:25 last night. This is a minor tremor here. This is a minor tremor here. But this earthquake here is not. This is a minor 2.8, 2.9 earthquake this afternoon. Actually, this happened later this morning. Let's zoom in here and find out exactly what time it was. That was after, it would be 11:30 on the left-hand side, and that's blue line. Over here, this would be 11:37, 11:38 this morning. Okay? 2.8, 2.9 earthquake here. Mount Rainier. Yes, it has 3.0 earthquakes as well. That was a 2.9, 2.8, 2.9. Yes, it could have been a 3.0 earthquake as well. We don't have the magma churn signal on this particular seismogram because they don't have it. We don't know exactly. This could have been a large earthquake. This could have been a 3.0, 3.2, 3.3. Okay. Mount Rainier is moving. There is a thought here that Mount Rainier is going to erupt at some point in time. It's showing all signs of that. All kinds of earthquakes and tremors are happening here at Mount Rainier, and they are trying to cover them up. They're trying to cover it up. Let's go over to Mount St. Helens. Mount St. Helens. This is east of Mount St. Helens today. Up at the top here, this is last night. Okay. Here you see some harmonic tremors. You see some minor tremors as well. And last night, guess what happened? Last night. Okay. Over on the left here, this will be 9:15 last night. This earthquake here is a 3.2 earthquake. This earthquake happened here at 9:20 p.m. last night. 3.2 earthquake here at Mount St. Helens. You see some other minor earthquakes here as well here. Okay. The black line above it here in the center here, that is a 2.8, 2.9 earthquake there, as well as some tremors and other minor earthquakes there. Look at that. Also, the thicker the lines, the more magma coming into the magma chamber here. These are magma pulse signals here. Magma pulse signals here at Mount St. Helens. And more minor earthquakes here later this morning. On the red line here this morning. Just after this is probably about 10:13, 10:14 a.m. this morning. Mount St. Helens is moving. Mount St. Helens is moving a great deal. That was east of Mount St. Helens. It's a seismic device, a seismograph recording device at the summit of the volcano. There's one other summit seismograph. It's called September Lobe here. September Lobe. Let me show you that. This is the main seismograph at September Lobe here. Up at the top last night. Okay. All we're seeing here is some magma coming in here with the thicker lines. The magma pulse signals here showing thicker lines, showing some magma coming in the volcano. We're seeing some tremors here. Only seeing some tremors until we get down here on the blue line here on the right-hand side. That blue line on the right-hand side was after 10:30 on the left-hand side. So over here, we're at 10:43 p.m. last night. 10:43 p.m. This is a 3.3 earthquake here at Mount St. Helens. 3.3 earthquake here at Mount St. Helens here. September Lobe seismograph. We also have one other September Lobe seismogram to show you. The September Lobe seismograph itself, the machine, is a multi-channel machine. It's going to show us what's actually going on at Mount St. Helens with magma, guys. Okay. The other seismogram at Mount St. Helens and East Dome had a lot of activity last night after 5 p.m. This proves it. These wavy lines are VLF waves, very low frequency waves caused by magma coming into Mount St. Helens. Okay? These very low frequency waves, when they're all jumbled up like this, we should see a lot of other earthquakes, but we're not. That's because the agencies, Pacific Northwest Seismic Network and the USGS, are scrubbing the information. They are deleting the information. With all this kind of activity here, it should show us a lot more earthquakes and possibly even larger earthquakes than they're showing here. This proves my madness here. Okay? With all this activity, we should see a lot more earthquakes, and we're not. They're hiding activity. They're deleting activity on the other seismographs. They're not showing it to us. Why not? Why don't they want to show it to us? Okay? Mount St. Helens, guys. How about Sugarloaf or Sugar Bowl? Sugar Bowl is on the north side of Mount St. Helens. Look at this. This same thing says what we just got through telling you. On the other seismograms, they're hiding the activity. This activity here at Sugar Bowl says, guess what? There is a lot of magma coming into Mount St. Helens, and guess what? It's showing here on the seismogram. It's showing here on the seismogram. Enlarging it, we have some harmonic tremors. We have some other tremors here as well. Okay, Mount St. Helens is to the point it was before it erupted in 1980. The activity level here at Mount St. Helens is basically the same thing it was before it erupted in 1980. Any questions? Wild Willie's here. Thank you for being here, Wild Willie. We appreciate you being here. Wild Willie's asking what's going to happen when the sun solar blast hit. Guess what? Last Wednesday, there were 2X class flares that launched from the sun. Saturday, we had some earthquakes as a result. Saturday and Sunday, we had some earthquakes as a result, and we're still seeing activity here. Some of this activity from these volcanoes are a result of the solar blast. The sunspots erupting on the sun are also affecting the volcanoes as well. Okay? What happened Sunday morning over in Japan? 7.0 earthquake caused by solar flares. Caused by solar flares. Okay? X5.1 solar flare hit the Earth, took a direct hit for 30 minutes. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Judy Olson's here. Thanks for being here, Judy. We appreciate you being here. Any questions about Mount Rainier or Mount St. Helens, guys? A lot of activity. Lots and lots of activity. Let's drop down to Mount Hood to the north part of Oregon. North central Oregon here. This is Timberline. Okay. This is the BHZ channel on the Timberline seismograph. Guess what? Harmonic tremors. Harmonic tremors all over here. Look at that. We're also seeing some earthquakes here as well. Earthquakes here today. Let me enlarge this seismograph so we can see what happened this morning, or the late morning, early afternoon here. These earthquakes here were after 11 a.m. this morning. They start about 11:07. That looks to be about a 3.0 earthquake here. Again, it's over here at Timberline, Mount Hood, 3.0. Then just after that, we had some minor earthquake activity, 2.4, 2.5 earthquakes, 2.6, 2.7 at 11:08. Magma's coming into Mount Hood and it's vibrating the ground, causing harmonic tremors. Mount Hood, go figure. Go figure. We know what's going on. We know exactly what's going on here. Let's go up to the north to the central side of Mount Hood on the south side of the volcano. It's a ski lift called Palmer Lift. Palmer Lift. It's over halfway up the south side of Mount Hood, right here. What are we seeing here? Again, these are VLF waves caused by magma coming into Mount Hood. Mount Hood is getting hit by earthquakes, and they're not showing them. They are not showing the earthquakes. This amount of activity at Mount Hood, all this magma at Mount Hood should be causing earthquakes last night. It did not do it. It did not do it. But we had a 3.0 this afternoon. Actually, late morning. Late morning today. This shows a lot of violent magma activity coming into Mount Hood. Interesting, huh? Now you can see what I'm talking about. Compare this with Timberline. Last night should show a bunch of earthquakes last night up at the top. It's not. But down here this evening or this morning, late morning, 3.0 earthquakes, some minor earthquakes as well. We should have been seeing some 3.0 earthquakes all over last night. That means the agencies are scrubbing the activity. They don't want anybody to know what's going on here at Mount Hood. They never do. They never do. Now, it's not the only thing we want to talk about today. Okay? Let's go over and show you earthquake activity in Kelso, Washington. Look at this. This kind of activity should be showing on the USGS map. These are minor 2.0s to 2.7, 2.8 earthquakes in Washington State, Kelso, Washington. Kelso, Washington. Why are they not showing us this? The USGS doesn't want us to know about it. The USGS definitely does not want us to see this. But it's not the only one that they don't want us to see. Let's go over to the Pacific Ocean in Washington. I want to show you this. Ocean Shores, Washington. Look at this. Last night, 5 o'clock, 6 p.m. last night. Look at all the tremors and minor earthquakes happening here last night. We also see periods of a lot of magma going through the magma chambers here. Yes, magma chambers. There are no volcanoes here at the seashore in Washington. The magma is coming off the Pacific Ocean over to the North American plate, and the magma is running from the ocean over towards the volcanoes. That's why we're seeing this here. Ocean Shores, Washington is very active. Yes, we're seeing earthquakes, minor earthquakes and tremors here all day long. Top line here is 5 p.m. last night. The bottom line here is approximately 2:15 this afternoon on the red line. Okay? That shows a lot of tremor activity here. Lots of it. I also, like I said, the horizontal lines here are showing magma down beneath the surface that we walk on. The magma is headed eastbound over towards the volcanoes here in Washington State. Okay, that's a lot of activity, isn't it? It certainly is. But it's not the only activity. How about Mount Jefferson? Mount Jefferson, another volcano in Oregon, harmonic tremors. There's magma flowing through the volcano, vibrating the ground around the volcano, causing harmonic tremors here. That's what we're seeing. Mount Jefferson. Let's see here. Okay, I want to show you the tremor map. This is the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network's tremor map. They're not showing any tremors at all or even earthquakes on the map up north. Nothing around Vancouver Island, nothing around Seattle, Tacoma area. How about the peninsula? How about the peninsula? Nothing. The only activities here is down over around Medford, Washington, Medford, Oregon here. Medford, Southern Oregon. Right there. And over here near Mount Shasta. Look at this activity here. All kinds of tremors here. There are 393 tremors located around Medford, Oregon and Mount Shasta. 393 tremors here. But there are tremors and earthquakes in Oregon and Washington. Why are they not showing us that? Inquiring minds want to know. I believe we should be seeing all this. All of it, guys. Literally all of it. The USGS map did not show anything about those earthquakes around Clear Lake volcano. They didn't show us anything at Mount Shasta or Mount Lassen. They didn't show us the small earthquakes happening around the geysers facility. All they showed was tremors. They don't want us to know what's happening. How about Capitol Peak, Washington? Capitol Peak, Washington. Look what's happening here. Look what's happening here. We're having earthquakes. We're having earthquakes and also harmonic tremors here. Harmonic tremors. Because magma is vibrating the ground here. You can see magma vibrating the ground. Why is this not on the tremor map or on the earthquake map from USGS? They don't want us to know. They don't want us to know. Hurricane Heather says they definitely not with Mount Lassen. They need to raise the alert level. I agree. Let's show you what's going on at Mount Shasta, then we'll go down to Mount Lassen. Okay? This is Mount Shasta. This is the northernmost volcano here in California. Mount Shasta. Look at this. All these horizontal lines are showing magma coming into the volcano. Showing magma coming into the volcano. It's called magma pulse signals. These horizontal thicker lines here. The less lines, less magma. You also see these tiny vertical lines here. Those are tremors as a result of that magma fracturing rock inside the volcano. Fracturing rock inside the volcano causing earth movement. That's why we have these vertical lines here. Horizontal lines are showing magma movement here. Look at that. Look at that early this morning. Early this morning. Actually, I'm sorry, it wasn't early this morning. It was last night after 8 p.m. After 8 p.m., 8:30 p.m. last night. Magma coming into the volcano here. Early this morning, 2:30 this morning. Again, magma pulse signals showing magma coming into Mount Shasta. Then here, this morning, guys, 8:30 this morning, magma coming into the volcano at Mount Shasta, causing tremors here. The vertical lines here around this magma here, tremors. 1.8, 1.9 tremors here, possibly even 2.0 minor earthquakes here as a result of magma coming into Mount Shasta this morning. Look at this. More magma all day long here. All day long. Now, this is the only seismogram I could find showing this kind of activity at Mount Shasta. This is the only seismogram showing this kind of activity at Mount Shasta. All the others have either been turned way down, they're not showing hardly anything going on, or they've been completely turned off. Completely turned off here at Mount Shasta. They don't want anybody to believe anything's going on with either of these two cascade volcanoes. Mount Shasta and Mount Lassen are cascade volcanoes, just are Mount Hood, Mount St. Helens, and Mount Rainier. Seismic energy hitting them because there's magma inside the volcanoes doing it. Let's show you Mount Lassen. Okay. On the north side of Mount Lassen is here. This is seismogram LME on the north side of Mount Lassen. Look at all this activity. Earthquakes and tremors here. The smaller vertical lines are tremors. The longer vertical lines are minor earthquakes here. Look at that. The red lines on the red vertical lines are generated by the computer to get the seismologist's attention to say, hey, look at this, we have an earthquake. That's why the red lines are here. Minor earthquakes here, guys. Minor earthquakes. 2.0, 2.6 earthquakes here. 2.0s and 2.6 earthquakes here. Then look what happened late morning and this afternoon. Look at that. See the magma blobs here, guys? These magma blobs are showing you earthquake activity. They're causing earthquake activity as the magma enters the volcanic chamber. It goes in there and fractures rock inside the volcano, causing earthquakes, causing earth movement. Again, the vertical lines are generated by the computer to tell the seismologist, look at this, you need to see it. This is late this morning, early afternoon. Mount Lassen. I have one more seismogram here at Mount Lassen to show you here. One more. This is the other one. Up at the top here was last night. Okay. From 4 p.m. to approximately 6 p.m. last night. Minor earthquakes here. There may have been a 3.0 here in the center of your screen here, right there. The top and the bottom of this earthquake sequence was cut off, As it stands right now, this would be a 2.7, 2.8 earthquake, but the top and the bottom are cut off. This may have been as much as a 3.0, 3.3 earthquake. 3.03 point earthquake here at Mount Lassen. Yeah, that's important to know. That's very important to know. And after that activity, they turned the seismograph down because they ended their day last night. They kept the seismograph turned down until early this morning, right there. All of a sudden, after 9:45 this morning, 9:45, 10:15 this morning, they turn it back up. And then all of a sudden, we have some more 3.0 earthquakes here. We have some more 3.0 earthquakes here, 3.3 earthquake here, I believe. Okay. That 3.3 hit just after, I want to say 10:32 this morning. 10:32 this morning. Okay. And then before that at 10:14 this morning. Some more 2.8, 2.9 activity, possibly a 3.0 earthquake activity immediately right after that. Mount Lassen and Mount Shasta are showing signs of a possible eruption as well. They're showing signs of a possible eruption coming in the near future here as well. Yes, we don't have a lot of seismographs to prove it. That's because they turn them off. They turn the seismographs off. Heaven forbid. In this case, they turned it down all the way down here because all this activity happened. All this activity happened. Nature doesn't work like this. It doesn't just shut off. It doesn't just shut off. In this case, the seismologists wanted to go for the evening. So after 6:30 last night, they turned the seismograph down. They kept it turned down until after 9:30 this morning. That's when we saw all this. That's what the USGS has been doing and the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network. Turn the seismographs down so they're not reporting any activity. That way they don't have to answer questions. They don't have to answer questions when they turn them down like that. Any questions, guys? I've been reporting on earthquakes for quite a few years. Probably just 6 years now, almost 7. Actually, it has been almost 7 years. Okay. Minray says, due to lapse in appropriations, the majority of USGS websites may not be up to date and may not reflect current conditions. Websites displaying real-time data such as earthquake, volcano, Landsat, yes, but the computers are always showing data. Doesn't matter whether the U.S. government was shut down or not. USGS has not been showing data at all. Not at all. They're not showing these earthquakes on the USGS map. They're not showing earthquakes on the USGS map even when they are in action, when they're employed. So somebody coming in here and telling me they're shut down so they're not going to show activity. Bull crap. Bull crap. This is typical behavior. Rebecca Griffiths, thank you for that birthday wish. Thank you so much. My dear friend, Rebecca Griffiths from New Mexico. God bless you, dear lady. Thank you. We have a lot of mods in here. I want to thank them for being here as well. Thank you so much. Also here, okay, down at the bottom of your screen, you're seeing ways you can help support our program. You can send us a donation to our PayPal here. We have 2 PayPal locations here. You'll also see our EMA address scrolling through the bottom of your screen. 504 Bethel Road, Box 401. Morganton, North Carolina. The zip code here is 28655. You'll also see our email address, rltnsbdema@gmail.com. rltnsbdema@gmail.com. You can send us comments about our program. You can send us criticism about our program. We'd love to see some cards and letters from you as well. Some to our 504 Bethel Road, Box 401, Morganton, North Carolina. The zip code here is 28655. Inside your cards and letters, you can also send checks and or cash in the cards and letters, which gets here. It does get here. It's happened before. We haven't had a card or letter since September. We'd appreciate you helping support our program. And thank you much for that. I haven't seen any super chats here on our chat here. Not seen any super chats at all. Send us super chats also help support this program. Any questions so far about anything we talked about? Any questions? Yes, Demon Catman says all help is gratefully received. Absolutely it is. We appreciate it. It helps pay these bills. We have to pay $253 for bandwidth just to broadcast with. Our electric bills skyrocketed this past month. Skyrocketed up over $100 this past month. Incredible. We've not used our AC or even our heat yet. Yet the AC or the electric bill skyrocketed. Craziness. Craziness. Also, guys, after our program is finished below our video, you have our comments. You can leave us comments also in the comment section just below this video once it's finished. Love our comments here. Love it. Do we have any questions about anything we talked about so far? Okay. Also in the top of our program description, right below this program today. The top of our program description, you can also see where we can have memberships. You can join our email, you can join our YouTube membership program here for as little as $1.99 a month. That also goes to help us bring programs to you every day. We'd appreciate that as well. Okay. Our email addresses are at the top of the program description. Our mailing address is at the top of the program description as well. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys really are. I know Carol is waiting for me to get off the air because she's made me a special dinner for my birthday. I want to go into the scriptures here, leave a message with you from God. Okay? I want to go over here to Timothy. First Timothy chapter 1, verse 8. We know that the law is good if a man use it lawfully, knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man, but for the lawless and disobedient, for the ungodly and for sinners, for unholy and profane, for murderers of fathers and murderers of mothers, or manslayers, for whoremongers, for them that defile themselves with mankind and man-stealers, for liars, for perjured persons. If there be any other thing that is contrary to sound doctrine, according to the glorious gospel of the blessed God, which was committed to my trust. This is Paul talking. And Paul continues to say in verse 12, and I thank Christ Jesus our Lord, who hath enabled me, for he counted me faithful, putting me into the ministry. He asked Paul to be in the ministry with him. I was asked to teach Sunday school every Sunday. I'm a servant in the Lord's kingdom. I love Jesus Christ. He's my elder brother. He's our elder brother. Jesus Christ loves each one of us. And I urge each one of you to also accept Jesus Christ into your life and follow him. Follow him. Worship him. Laura Marie just gave us a $20 super chat. Thank you very much for that, Laura. You're awesome. Laura and I go way back, guys. Farther back than either of us want to believe. But we love you, Laura. Thank you so much for that. God bless you. Ann Pickering's here. Thank you for being here, Ann. God bless you. Appreciate you. Any questions, guys? Laura Marie, you're amazing as well. You're amazing as well. Any questions, guys? If not, we're going to get out of here. Like I said, I'm going to go eat dinner and spend the rest of the evening with Carol. I hope you have a great night and a better tomorrow. If anything happens tonight, we'll be back on there to tell you about it as soon as the information becomes available. Until then, God bless you. God be with you this day and always. God be with you until we meet again. We'll see you on the other side. Have a good night, guys. Take care. Love you. Bye.
Here at Emergency Management Associates, we're dedicated and true, bringing you the essential knowledge, helping you see things through. From disaster preparedness to navigating recovery's embrace, we're here to guide you in every unpredictable time and place. We break down the complex, make it easy to grasp and absorb, sharing strategies for safety, the vital lessons you can't afford to hoard. So thank you for watching, and thank you so much for your sub. You're a key part of our growing family, a member of our knowledge club. With every like, every share, and every comment you send our way, our critical message spreads further, helping more people every single day. Together we're stronger and more prepared. That's the truth we all abide. You help us build resilience with nowhere for uncertainty to hide. Your engagement truly inspires us. Your feedback acts as a guiding light, helping us continually grow and making our channel's future bright. We're always learning, always striving to be better, bring you the most up-to-date information, no matter the weather. Emergency Management Associates is here for you now and forever, it's true. Keep watching, keep